Everybody, a huge deep breath. Whenever the Spirit moves you, Yvonne, is when I will start your time.
I was fine before I got here.
I wasn't.
Suddenly I'm feeling very clammy. Alright. When you hear the word Disney, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Well, most people's response is Mickey Mouse or Disneyland. Well, Disneyland is the most famous place on Earth, most magical place on Earth where the sun never sets. The reason for this is that the Walt Disney Company has resorts all across the globe. So somewhere in the world, the sun is always shining on the Magic Kingdom. But there's so much more to this company. I should know. I've been an employee of the Walt Disney Company for almost 20 years. Today, I'd like to better inform you of the name Disney by giving you a general overview of the history of how the Walt Disney Company started, by telling you the different divisions that make up the company, and then giving you some general highlights of the company today. To begin with, let's take a look at the man himself, Walt Disney, and see the roots and foundation that this company is built on. Now, Walt Disney was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and he graduated from the Art Institute of Chicago. Eventually, he moved to Hollywood, California, where he began producing cartoons, and in 1925, he created Mortimer Mouse, later renamed as our famous little Mickey Mouse. 12 years later, in 1937, he produced Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It was his very first animated feature film that broke box office records. It was so successful that the success of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is what helped finance the building of the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California, where he continued to create films and story editing. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, Walt once said, "I don't make movies to make money. I make money so that I can make more movies." Walt loved animation and making his movies. In 1955, Disneyland was born. And according to the Walt Disney Family Museum, who are experts in everything Walt Disney, and founded by Walt's daughter, Diane, Walt once said, "Disneyland will be the essence of America as we know it. The nostalgia of the past with exciting glimpses into the future," which still holds true today. Now that I've given you an overview of the history of how Walt Disney got started, let me go over the different divisions that make up the company today. The Walt Disney Company is made up of 4 segments under the corporate umbrella. The corporate umbrella's role is to oversee and strategically support the 4 segments. The first segment I'm going to talk to you about is Media Networks. Media Networks consists of everything books, publishing, Disney Radio, as well as broadcasting, cable, and digital entertainment. ESPN stands for Entertainment Sports Programming Network, and they are everything sports. The second segment I'm going to talk to you about is Parks and Resorts. Parks and Resorts currently has 11 theme parks and 47 resorts across 3 continents. They're also in charge of the Disney Cruise Lines, which includes the East Coast and West Coast and their island, as well as Adventures by Disney and the Aulani Hotel in Hawaii. The third segment is Disney Studios. Now, Disney Studios is the foundation of the company, and they've been in existence for approximately 90 years. Disney Studios is in charge of music, movies, and theatrical entertainment. This would include names. Movies are released under names that you may recognize, such as Disney Animation Studios, Pixar Animation Studios, Disney Nature, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and Touchstone Pictures. It was not supposed to do this, I apologize. All right, and the fourth and last segment I'm going to talk to you about is Disney products and interactive media. Now, Disney products and interactive media are responsible for everything you find in stores and online. This would include games, apps, apparel, toys, and much, much more. Now that you've heard a little about the history of how the Walt Disney Company began and how the company is set up today, I'm going to share with you some current statistics and highlights of the company. The Walt Disney Company is a Fortune 500 company that has strong growth over all of its divisions, has record-breaking revenue, and creates new projects every day. The Walt Disney Company currently operates in over 40 different countries. They currently have over 180,000 employees. According to the Walt Disney Shareholders Report that was released on August 4th of this year, the Walt Disney Company reported record quarterly earnings of $2.5 billion for its third fiscal quarter year ended June 27, 2015. Disney Channel, which falls under Media Networks, currently has over 108 different channels. They're in 37 different countries across the world and are currently adding to those numbers every day. Walt Disney Imagineering, which falls under Parks and Resorts, is currently working on one of their largest projects, which is called Shanghai, and it's their newest Disneyland resort that's going to be opening up in China, scheduled to open this spring, 2016. Disney Studios is also working on some great new projects. One of their most current releases coming out is Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and it's scheduled to appear in theaters this December. I just heard that they already have record-breaking online sales for that movie.
Oh, jeez. Mm-hmm.
Disney Studios Pixar has some fun, new, exciting movies as well, which includes Cars 3, The Incredibles 2, and Toy Story 4. And for those of you who are Marvel fans, some new releases coming are Ant-Man and the Wasp, The Black Panther, and Captain Marvel. So, as you can see, there are constantly new and exciting projects across all the divisions that are coming to life every day. After having spoken to you all about the history of the Walt Disney Company and how it got started, about the different segments that make up the company, and some current statistics and highlights of the company today, I hope you can all agree with me that there's so much more to the name Disney, that the new company is a global Fortune 500 company that all started with a man and his dream. Thank you.
What did you do?